This is the Lamzu Atlantis Mini, a tinier version of the 2022 surprise smash hit gaming mouse, the original Atlantis. But the thing is, beyond just being a smaller, tinier gaming mouse, there have been a couple of nice changes here to see. I'll start off with the shape though, and it's, well, a tinier Atlantis, which means it is a XM1 inspired shape with a low click position, narrow sides, and kind of flat hips to support your fingers. The hump is also towards the rear half of the mouse, though unlike the XM1, the Pulsar X2, and the Ninjutsu Sora mice, who are also in this genre of claw grip mice, the hump is a little bit more forward rather than all the way at the absolute rear of the mouse, which is what you find in the XM1, X2, and Sora. It's also substantially shorter, lower, and narrower than the original Atlantis because it's the mini version. In fact, it's so small in the hands that it actually feels smaller in my hands with both a claw or fingertip grip than even the Ninjutsu Sora, which is essentially a XM1 mini wireless. It doesn't fill out your palm as much as Pulsar X2, X2 mini would, since the hump isn't all the way at the back of the mouse. But this gentler curvature to the hump and the more forward nature of the hump does result in a palm support feel that I do quite like, since it isn't like forcefully pressing against my palm with how I tend to hold my gaming mice. But I can definitely say it feels quite small in the hands and might even work as a good replacement for people who want a VIPER mini wireless but don't want to wait for those cheaper models to come out after the $280 signature edition. Review soon, by the way, so subscribe for that. If you think the VIPER mini shape is just nice or a little too small, the Atlantis mini might just be the slight increase in size that might be the perfect choice for you, so you can check that out. But apart from the shape and the size differences with the original Atlantis, there are also some nice improvements in other aspects, notably the finish. The original Atlantis made grip tape compulsory since it was so matte and so damn slippery you just can't hold on to the mouse at all. The Atlantis Mini has a little bit more gloss and a little bit more grip to it, which I definitely appreciate, and it doesn't feel like a mouse in which I really have to use the grip tape to use properly and enjoy. It's still a little too slippery, but it's definitely better than the stock finish on, say, a Razer VIPER, for example, and a notable improvement over the original Atlantis. Another improvement on the Atlantis Mini is definitely the mice feet. Now, I don't know whether this is because the mouse has gotten smaller and they didn't really change the feet all that much, but it definitely feels a lot better on the Atlantis Mini than on the original Atlantis, which was a very big mouse, so the small feet that it came with felt very unstable and kind of got caught on your cloth mousepad quite a bit. However, the stock feet of the Atlantis Mini are still not all that great, but it does come with an extra set of mice feet in the box, which is what I recommend you use instead of the stock 4 little corner pieces that it comes default with. Oh, and it still comes with the excellent grip tape that you could find on the original Lamzu Atlantis. You can still use it here. As far as friction levels goes, I mean, it's a 49-gram mouse, so it's as smooth and as easy to move around on the Artisan, High-End, or Raiden, or Hone Ace as you would expect. And despite being 49 grams, the build quality is actually pretty alright of this gaming mouse. Sure, it won't be as good as my Vexi XE wireless, and it does lose out to the VIPER V2 Pro a little bit, but it's still a very solid feeling mouse, and I definitely will place it as better built than the original Atlantis and substantially better built than the very comparable size Ninjutsu Sora, which I personally think feels very flimsy. As for the internals and the design, it's not really changed. You still get the plentiful color options you get with the original Atlantis, and inside you still get a 3395 sensor with a good implementation and motion sync. What also isn't changed is the phenomenally good clicks and scroll wheel you found on the original Atlantis. The scroll wheel might be a little bit too big for this gaming mouse, seeing that it is a reused part, but I personally don't have too much complaints for it, and the clicks remain equally awesome as on the original Atlantis because it uses 10 pink dot blue shell switches, which feel phenomenal. They do, however, feel a little bit stiffer than on the original Lamzu Atlantis. I'm guessing this probably has to do with some sort of tensioning difference here, and it makes sense to have a slightly stiffer click on a smaller mouse, since on smaller mice your fingers are more likely to be arched up like this, which means you're applying more force to the click anyway. And last but not least, it's pretty reasonably priced. Sure, it isn't dirt cheap, but it also isn't exorbitantly priced like the Signature Edition is either. It's $90 US, so around the same price as the original Atlantis, and it's not super cheap, but it does come as a pretty premium product with a pretty premium set of kit. All in all then, is the Atlantis Mini any good? Well, if you have medium size hands about 18 to 20 cm in length, and you like smaller mice that allow you to claw or fingertip grip more aggressively, this is a shape for you. If you have smaller hands than that, maybe 17 cm in length and below, and you have more of a relaxed grip, like a relaxed claw or something that is like a almost palm grip kind of thing, then it's also going to be a shape that you probably would like. It's got top level performance, decent value, and some nice improvements over the original Atlantis. All round, it's a solid improvement and a solid release from Lamzu. So yeah, definitely consider this gaming mouse. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I would really appreciate your support on this channel, since I actually pay for my own gaming mice to review. The only mice that I've been sent is the ROG Harp Ace and the DefFeather V3 Pro. Apart from that, I have not been sent a single gaming mouse. So yeah.
Bro think he has Suna, bro. That's kind of sick. Follow me down on Twitch, it's free, linked in the description.